local government would benefit from the administration's effort, emphasizing inclusivity in his governance.
This idea is Opopo Nkoro, it's not Opopo only. So for my other wonderful neighbors, the Nkoro, we're also coming to Nkoro before the middle of next year to commission a project. So don't think that it's only Opopo we are handling. Nkoro, you have a special project that we are going to commission. We're going to flag it up very soon. Well, I don't flag up. They will commence the project and will be there in the next 6 months to commission it. At the end of the day, every part, every section of this local government will be touched.
In another development, the President General of the Initiative for Transparent Strategy and Good Leadership, Chi Zienyi, has criticized the former chairman of Emohua local government area, Chida Lloyd, for criticizing the secretary.
I have heard about...
I beg your pardon. Now, the President General of the Initiative for Transparent Strategy and Good Leadership, Chi Zienyi, has criticized the former chairman of Emohua local government area, Chida Lloyd, for criticizing the secretary to the Rivers State government, Tammy Danagogo, over claims that he developed high blood pressure while serving under the previous administration. Mr. Zienyi, in an interview, said the former Emohua chairman is only making the public hate the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, by linking him to statements that were not referred to him. He said working with the former governor was not Mr. Danagogo's first time holding a public office.
Tammy Danagogo has worked with several persons, including Odele, Amechi, even former President Goodluck Jonathan. None of them did he refer to as only Wiki. Just that, when people are being overzealous over nothing, hence they could imagine and suspect any situation. Just like when an old person is there and you made mention of a dry bone, the old person would suspect that you're referring to him or her. So for G. Lloyd and those who are alleging that Tammy Danagogo is referring to Wike, it's just to get something out of nothing.
Mr. A also faulted the former council chairman's claims that Mr. Danagogo sent a petition to the EFCC against Governor Fubara. He described Mr. Lloyd's claims as an attempt to cause disaffection, crisis, and an unrosy relationship between them because Mr. Danagogo refused to resign from the cabinet. He challenged Mr. Lloyd to make public the said petition, wondering what the benefit of the petition was when Mr. Danagogo did not emerge second during the PDP governorship primaries, which would have made him the candidate if Governor Fubara had been disqualified based on the said petition. Moving on, a political movement, Henry Wado Support Group for SIM, has inaugurated its ward executives in Omerelu and Apani communities of Ikwere local government area. Addressing scores of supporters, the national coordinator of the group, Chinedu Amadi, described Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara as a servant leader and a man to follow. Mr. Amadi urged the people to rally round the convener of the group, Henry Wando, in ensuring utmost support for the Fubara administration.
Sim Fubara is not just a governor, he's a servant to Rivers people. From his antecedents, you all can attest that Sim Fubara has the feelings and understanding of what Rivers people want. That is why, from what is going on in the state, our convener and leader, Chief Dr. Henry Wado, said we must go around the wards of Ikwere local government to tell our women, our youth, our leaders, elders, chiefs, that all hands must be on deck to support the administration of Siminalayi Fubara. We are here to let you all know that Sim Fubara and Chief Henry Wado Support Group needs your support to succeed.
On his part, a former Uniport SUG president and stakeholder in Ikwere local government area, Rhino Ohokiri, while describing Dr. Wado as a game changer, said the politics of promise and fail in Ikwere is over.
Our principal, Chief Dr. Henry Wado, is a man that God sent to come and liberate us and assist the government of Siminalayi Fubara through the local government chairman, Honorable Israel Abosi, a man who came and abolished immediately promise and faith from the Ikwere politics and abolished intimidation of all nature from the Ikwere politics. Such a man needed to be assisted, and that's why the game changer, Chief Dr. Henry Chima Wado, came here.
The chairman of Simplified Movement in Equator Local Government Area, Denise Amadi, also spoke alongside other stakeholders.
Our brother, a philanthropist, Chief Dr. Henry Ward, have decided to support the governor through his foundation. Many of you may now reach out to His Excellency the Governor of Rivers State, but through this foundation, we can reach you. And that is why we are here today. We are not campaigning. This is the time of governance, and it's also the time to reap what you have sown. Therefore, our brother, Chief Dr. Henry Ward, have come to give us succor. In your private time, always pray for God to continue to bless him so that he will reach out to the needy. This community have resolved to, in any form, support Samilaye Joseph Fubara. We are supporting Henry Ward. We will support him because he is for sin. Sin have done a lot.
Away from that, some lawyers in Port Harcourt have been speaking on the plan by Governor Fubara to present the 2025 budget to the Victor Okojumbo-led Rivers State House of Assembly. Now recall that Governor Fubara announced last month that he will present the state's 2025 budget to the Victor Okojumbo-led State House of Assembly. As you may know, a Supreme Court judgment is still being expected after the governor in October appealed the judgment of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which upheld the decision of the Federal High Court, which voided the Rivers State 2024 budget passed by 5 members of the State House of Assembly. The court had also ordered Governor Fubara and his administration to resubmit the budget to the Martin Amikule-led Assembly as earlier ordered by the Trial High Court, which delivered judgment in the case and awarded damages against the governor, saying he is expected to apply the rule of law and not the rule of might. That court judgment came about 10 months into the implementation of the 2024 budget. But speaking on this, a lawyer, Achinike Williams Swobodo, urged Governor Fubara not to present the 2025 budget to the Victor Okojumbo-led Assembly because appealing the Court of Appeal's decision does not allow him to disregard an earlier court ruling. He said under the law, River State does not have a valid budget.
There is no stay of execution of the orders of the Court of Appeal. So presenting it before he said Okojumbo Assembly still boils down to disobedience of the court order. It's an affront. The Court of Appeal has entered a judgment, recognized Amegule's led assembly as the appropriate assembly. The Court of Appeal made a directive that the budget should be presented to that assembly. It will be clear disobedience of the Court of Appeal judgment.
Another lawyer thinks otherwise.
Now, the appeal is beneath after the stay of the execution of that judgment. In 2025 budget, there's every imperativeness to move on with that because we are almost done with 2024. The fact that no competent court has determined with finality the issue of the presentation of the budget, the state must continue to run. Even if the governor presents 2025 budget for the Okojumbo legislation, and the court holds otherwise that actually they are not the proper House of Assembly, we need to do what is in until the Supreme Court finally will determine the issue.
Now, still to come, Port Harcourt residents raise security concerns ahead of Christmas travel. Stay with us.
Divine Mandate.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, President Bola Tinubu plans to borrow about 13 trillion naira to fund the proposed 2025 budget of 49.7 trillion naira. He presented the budget to the Senate and House of Representatives on Wednesday, explaining that the government expects to generate 34.82 trillion naira in revenue, leaving a gap to be filled with loans. The budget, called the Budget of Restoration, Securing Peace and Building Prosperity, is aimed at creating a better future for Nigerians by focusing on peace and economic growth. President Tinubu said this plan as part of his administration's effort to bring hope and prosperity to the country.
2025 budget again reinforces our administration's roadmap to secure peace, prosperity, and hope for a greater future for our beloved nation. This budget, christened Budget of Restoration, Securing Peace, Building Prosperity, strikes at the very core of our Renew Hope agenda and demonstrates our commitment to stabilizing the economy, improving the lives, and positioning our country for greater performance.
Moving on, former leaders of the Rivers State Local Government Legislative Forum have pledged to support Governor Fubara to succeed. They made this known when they were hosted to a strategic meeting by the chairman of Omuma Local Government Area, Promise Reginald. They said, having served as leaders of the 23 Local Government Legislative Assembly, it was gratifying that some of their members were elected as chairman of local government areas. Coordinator of the forum and former leader of Ahoda East Legislative Assembly, Friday Ejimaji, who spoke on behalf of members, congratulated the Omuma Council chairman on his victory in the October 5th local government election, attributing his success to the efforts of Governor Fubara, who he said remembered some of their members, which is the reason for the massive mobilization to support his government.
While congratulating our chairman is because of his effort. Many came as caretaker but couldn't come back. But because of his outstanding performance when he was caretaker committee chairman, that propelled the governor, making sure that he continued. So we want to appreciate you again. We are aware that you have started a lot of activities. That's why we are proud of you. One, you have done some empowerment program, both women and men. You have also given 10 keke buses, 10 bicycles, 10 motorcycles, and all the things you have done. What especially making sure that the youth are busy within this period. You know, an idle man is a devil's workshop.
Responding, the Omuma Council chairman, who was a former leader of the Omuma Legislative Assembly, called for massive mobilization ahead of the 2027 general election.
All we have been doing from the caretaker period to this time, been very careful because we know how we have been maltreated as a councillor. It's a matter of fact, by this weekend rather, we're giving out over 20 cars for free. So about 10 of those cars will be going to the councillors, free of charge. If you know Omuma very well and you know the terrain, and you know the politics, you know what happened in the last dispensation, you know where I'm coming from. The councillors were asked to go get a loan, buy the car, give to the chairman to give to you, because they want to put out there that they actually bought the cars for the councillors.
Away from that, as the Christmas week nears and travel plans intensify for many residents of Port Harcourt, some of them are worried about security on highways. Speaking to our correspondent, some residents expressed hesitation to travel due to insecurity. Others called on the government to strengthen security measures to curb crimes often associated with the holiday period.
My fears are, number one, traveling, that kind of traveling, like in a long distance now. My life might be at stake. Number two, my goods, if I'm traveling with property, my property might also be at stake. If I'm traveling with my children are also going to be at stake.
These kidnappers right now, this is their season of making money. This Christmas season, people are planning to go to their villages, to just stand at the border, and they're kidnapping people, robbing people. People are scared this period of time. People are scared. You know that
government should bring security on the road so that for many of them now, because of that, mostly we that coming from Imo State, because of what's happening now, most of us state we are not traveling.
Need to provide security, any other thing, so that they will protect people, life and property.
An interstate commercial driver, simply known as Charles, also spoke on this.
Go with security defense. Some clients do higher security. Alright. There we go with security. Because nothing God cannot do. We pray before we move. So that's it. We don't have magic. We are not doing magic. Only God protects. And just now I'm running for GRA. Some that came in. They pay for security and we'll go with the
Meanwhile, the police say they are committed to enhancing security and policing in Rivers State. The State Commissioner of Police, CP Mohammed Mustafa, gave the assurance during the handover of communication equipment donated to the command by the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), represented by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, Samuel Erale. He said the equipment will resolve 80% of communication challenges faced in crime fighting across the state.
The citizens of Rivers State can go to sleep and be rest assured that we will be everywhere in this command. The equipment has given us about 80% coverage of communication all over the state, at least 80%. We can tell you that it is very easy now for us to get in touch with each other and monitor the crime rate and crime and criminality all over the state without any itch. The gadget is that it works effectively with the repeater station that the commission repaired.
Earlier, the managing director of the NDDC, Samuel Obuku, explained that the donation was part of the commission's collaboration with security agencies to improve the safety of lives and property in the region.
But without communication, there is no security, because security is now going digital. And with digital security these days, you don't need to be chasing people around. But so that is why we're trying to see how we can also improve on the digital security of the police command in the states of the Niger Delta. And this is also a gesture of appreciation to tell you that you've done very well and we're willing to do more.
Correspondent Mekwatoka reports that the equipment donated includes radio transmitters, walkie-talkies, masts, among others. Elsewhere, the president of the Rivers Baptist Conference, Robert Obaranta, has urged Christians to live exemplary lives to build a just society for all. He gave the advice during the 47th Rivers Baptist Conference themed Entering into Newness Through Renewed and Continuous Stewardship, held at the Rema Baptist Church, Rumagolo in Port Harcourt. He also called on governments to address the economic hardship faced by Nigerians. He ordained the acting chairman of the Rivers State Local Government Service Commission, Goodlife Idoku Ben, and 31 others to the reverend position, charging them to serve others and grow the church.
They are now ambassadors of the Nigerian Baptist Convention, having been ordained. Actually, they should set a good example, preach sound biblical doctrine, and live what they preach. So those who see them will know that they are truly men of God. They will not be like these men of God of these days that are using charms to do miracles, that are doing RNG miracle, that are fake pastors, that are telling lies, duping people, doing all manner of evil, corrupt things. But they should become men of God, called by God, living by example.
Earlier, the conference chairman, Ibiosia Amakri, commended Governor Fubara for his effort in improving the state's economy and infrastructure. On the spot, Mr. Idoku Ben expressed gratitude for his ordination and credited his success to hard work, dedication, and selfless service.
Governor has done much for the local government, and the grassroots are happy. So more and more he will do. Like he has fed the state. He will also give directives that the local government also do the same thing to the local government staff. By this appoint elevation, the gospel ministry, they have to use it to serve God and serve it well. What is happening in this state is the fruit of the Baptist prayer. The Baptists are more people that they don't make noise. So the prayers, which I know is what is causing this peace in the state. And my advice is to continue to pray. And our governor who answers to the people, God will also continue to answer him.
A highlight of the conference was the presentation of an ambassadorial award to Idoku Ben. In other news, organizers of a children's fun fair where at least 30 children are feared dead following a stampede on Wednesday at the Islamic High School, Basoru, Ibadan, Oyo State capital, have been arrested. The state governor, Seyi Makinde, confirmed that the organizers are in custody as investigations continue to determine the cause of the stampede. We go on another short commercial break.
With heavy hearts but total submission to the will of God Almighty, we, the Chief Chukwu Kamakas Tasie of
bomb that killed a top general, Igor Kirillov, in Moscow on the instructions of Ukraine's SBU security service. That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Governor Fubara has warned against demarketing River State. Port Harcourt residents have raised security concerns ahead of Christmas travel. On the foreign scene, Russia has detained a suspect over the killing of chemical weapons chief. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.
Ho, ho, ho! This Christmas